Brilliance Audio presents World of Wonders in Praise of Fireflies, Whale Sharks, and Other Astonishments by Aimee Nezhukumatathil. Performed by the author. A catalpa can give two brown girls in western Kansas a green umbrella from the sun. "Don't get too dark, our mother would remind us as we ambled out into the relentless Midwestern light. Every day after school, the bus dropped me and my younger sister off at Larned State Hospital, and every day our classmates stared at us as the bus pulled away. I'd unlock the door to the doctor's quarters with a key tied to my yarn necklace, and we'd go inside, fix ourselves snacks, and finish worksheets on fractions or spelling. We'd wait till our mom called to say we could meet her in her office, a call that meant she was about 10 minutes away from being done for the day. We'd click off the TV and scramble to get our plastic jelly sandals on for the block-long walk to the hospital's administration building. Catalpa trees dotted the wide prairie grounds and watched over us as we made our way to Mom's office. My sister and I knew not to go anywhere near the fence line of the patient's residence because they sometimes were given basketball privileges outside behind 3 layers of barbed wire. But occasionally I allowed myself to look at them when I rode my maroon 3-speed bike, and sometimes an inmate would wave as I passed. Catalpas stand as one of the largest deciduous trees at almost 60 feet tall and dangle long bean pods and flat seeds with wings to help them fly. These bean pods inspire some to call the catalpa cigar tree, trumpet creeper, or catawba. Catalpa trees can help you record the wind as it claps their giant heart-shaped leaves together. Leaves with spit curls, not unlike a naughty boy from a 50s movie whose first drag race ends in defeat and spilled milkshakes. But these leaves can make a right riot of applause on a particularly breezy day. A catalpa planted too close to a house is a calamity just waiting to happen. But perhaps some people think the danger isn't too menacing, since catalpas also yield good tone wood for guitars. And who would challenge that song out there on the plains? All those songs call out to the sphinx moth, who lays about 500 half-millimeter eggs at a time on the catalpa's leaves. These leaves are the moth's only source of food, and if left unchecked, the caterpillars can completely defoliate a single mighty tree. Kids in the Central Plains know these worms as good spending money. The sphinx caterpillars, also known as catfish candy, make prized fishing bait. Catfish and bluegill gobble them without seeming to get the least bit suspicious about their sudden appearance in the water. Sometimes, before we left to pick up our mom, my sister and I gathered coins for the vending machine in the lobby of her office. In 1986, a Little Debbie brownie cost a precious 35 cents. Precious because what little allowance we received was inconsistent, and so we couldn't count on it for gummy bracelets stacked up my arm in imitation of Madonna, or for the occasional 99-cent ice cream sandwich at Dairy Queen, or to save up for another colorful pair of jelly sandals. We were known as the daughters of the new doctor in that sleepy little county, but my mom made sure we weren't spoiled, unlike most of her coworkers' kids, children who had 6 or 7 pairs of the latest high tops, or were already talking about what luxury sports car would be their first. Extravagance, then, was the occasional afternoon when my sister and I found just enough to split a brownie between us. After greeting the receptionist, riding the elevator up a few stories, and walking past the patients' pool tables and lounge, we'd greet our mother with bits of chocolate in our smiles. "Cavities, cavities," she'd cluck at us, dropping whatever she was doing to hug and kiss us hello. I only pieced it together years later, how her day was spent trying to help patients who often hurled racist taunts and violent threats against her, like, "Get out of here, chink," or, "I'll choke you with my own hands." I can't believe how she managed the microaggressions of families who told her they couldn't understand her accent, who spoke loud and slow at her like she, The valedictorian of her class, the first doctora of her tiny village in northern Philippines, was a child who couldn't understand. But my mother always kept her calm, repeating recommendations and filing reports without losing her temper.